Good evening, I'm Rob Wilson, and this is the EU market preview for Thursday, the 19th of April 2012. And I'm still expecting a breakout. If you want to know why, pin back your ears and we'll get into it. So, kicking off with today's price action, you can see that the market started off grazing this 1 hour descending support, falls away. London attempts a breakout to the south, and that's retraced. And then, would you believe, America attempts exactly the same breakout to the south, and that's rejected. So we find ourselves at the end of the session right back up against this 1 hour falling support. So we tried the breakout that we thought might happen today. The market tried that, and do you know what? It was rejected, and that's clearly interesting. So, when I look at levels, I think that, because, 131 was essentially Muller today, that goes. This has really very little significance for us moving forward. The level that held beautifully was support at 130.55.56, which we can see is created back down the way here at the beginning of the month. And even if this level gives tomorrow, we still got to get through the 130.30s before we can approach the huge daily support at essentially 130. 130 is the big number to the south. So homing in on the 15-minute chart, you can see I've cleaned this chart right up to give myself the best possible appreciation of price. You can see the most dominant technical resistance feature on this chart is 1 hour falling support at the moment, and one wonders how long the market will be content for price to gust up against it without making a concerted dash north. On the other hand, it won't stay there forever, and if we can't get any bidders into the market at these sorts of levels, eventually price will fall away. And if it does so, I can't see a meaningful stop, frankly, before 130, which is obviously a long way south. Something has to happen here, something has to give, and if this resistance continues to hold into tomorrow, then you have to wonder if a further bearish breakout to the south, won't be successful. On the other hand, of course, the options here aren't, just up or down. We could find that overnight price just marches right through this 1 hour falling resistance in a range. That may well happen. But whatever is the case, we've got some fairly meaningful fundamental action tomorrow. So let's go and have a look at that. And so you can see here when we look at Thursday that the biggest event, I think by far, is the Spanish 10-year bond auction, which is ongoing through Europe and London tomorrow morning. You'll have read the news. That bond yields, European bond yields, are making headlines again, and of course, the fear of contagion is ever present. So I think that the biggest market moving event tomorrow will be this bond auction, and this could well be the catalyst for the big move that we're anticipating. On top of that, we've also got at 8:30 in the morning. American unemployment claims again, which has the ability to move market, and then after that, more big numbers at 10. So it is a big news day tomorrow, and if these numbers align again, there's much catalyst there for movement. So turning to my trading chart again, you can see we've cleaned this right up. On the 15-minute timescale, we still got 130.90 in, although I'm well aware of the fact that it was punched through, on more than one occasion today. I would imagine the daily pivot's going to come in at about the round number, about 131, something like that. And this big, the dominant feature at the moment again is this 1 hour falling resistance. You can see I've marked off North American news at 8:30 and 10, but as I said earlier, the dominant events certainly going into London will be the Spanish 10-year bond auction, which of course will be ongoing throughout the session. So, it's one of those situations where, again, I'm expecting something meaningful, But, you know, I don't want to try and forecast which way it will be. You know, it could be we could punch through, we could just march through, or we could come, you know, have one last attempt to get through this this resistance, falling resistance, and rocket south. You know, it's all there to play for, and I think that the the watchword will be to, you know, stand aside during a power move and try and trade continuation. And that's really where our summary leaves us. You know, we're still in the range. It's a fairly, fairly wide range, about 50, 60 pip range. But we are anticipating a breakout. There's too much news tomorrow. There's too much fundamental actioning happening, I think, for this market just to march sideways forever. I note the 1 hour falling resistance, and I also note that daily support down at 130. And I think that at the very least, a movement between those two technical support and resistance levels is a likelihood. News, we've talked about it again and again, the Spanish 10-year bond auction, that's going to be a big driver tomorrow. So, you know, in terms of the plan, again, no bias. I'm looking for reaction at those key levels, but I don't want to get in the way of a bull or a bear market in full flow, because you know, as I do, how quickly the euro moves in situations where, you know, greed and fear are riding high. So please, you know, trade safe, and as usual, I will update at 0500 Eastern, just on the London Open. Cheers.